I want to share something with you that scares me. This is something which quite often plays on my mind, and it is something which makes me question, am I doing enough? Let me set some context around this, because this is going to be different than the videos that I would normally put out there. So I am a father of two amazing girls. At the time of recording this, they are 9 and 12 years old. And as a father, a big worry that I have is being able to keep them safe. How can I ensure that they're going to go through life and be able to be safe with the people that are around them, be safe in all the different situations and environments that they can find themselves in? I realize that I can't bubble wrap them, but what can I do in order to arm them and give them the tools that they need to be able to move around in the world and be safe? And I'm well aware that they're only 9 and 12 at the moment, so we're probably still a few years away from this, but I honestly believe that I need to be starting to build the skill set that they need right now. As they get into their teens, they're going to start developing new friend groups, and obviously we're then going to get into the world of them starting to get boyfriends and that kind of thing, which is a whole nother conversation in itself. It's something that does terrify me a little bit. What happens if they choose a bad one? So this video is around what could I share with my girls from my knowledge of human behavior, from understanding people, human interactions, social skills. What can I share with them to give them the skills so that they're going to be able to identify the people that they start to associate themselves with, so that they start to choose the right people rather than the bad eggs, or even worse still, those narcissistic kind of people. And narcissism comes up so often these days. Narcissism is a word that is thrown around a lot. How do we truly identify what a narcissist is? So in this video, I'm going to unpack a few things that you can look out for, that you can observe in your day-to-day lives with the people that you interact with that might act for you as red flags. Now, while this isn't going to be a comprehensive video of everything that you need to know, I've written down a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to start teaching to my girls and starting to train my girls with. And I'm going to share with you just a few of those tips, probably 5 of those tips that will be helpful for you. Now, as you watch this video, what's really important is you don't see this from the point of view of only, say, dating or the friendship groups. I want you to see this, everything from friends, family and relationships, dating relationships, but also to the people that you work with as well. A lot of the content that I put out there is around those professional interactions. So see this from the workplace as well, the people that you are working with, or even the people that you are working for. And I would love for you to comment below as to which one of these tips you feel is the most powerful. So make sure that you're looking at it through that lens. This isn't just about dating. There is a lot more. You can use these skills in every aspect of your life. And let's dive into it. Let's get into the first thing that I think you should be looking out for to help you identify a potential narcissist or just a nutbag. One of those people that you might need to avoid. So the first thing that we want to look out for is to notice how other people or another person treats, and I'm going to say here, service staff. So service staff is anybody that I consider to be, say, like a cashier, somebody who checks you in at a hotel, bar staff, wait staff, housekeeping, that kind of thing. Now, the reason why we're observing these types of people in these types of roles is because somebody who is a potential bit of a nutbag or a narcissist is going to see these people as low value. They're not low value, but a narcissist might see them as low value because they don't see them as helping them get towards a bigger goal. They just see them as a means to an end. But what it does is, if we observe the way that somebody interacts with these people, it gives us a little bit of a look underneath the hood. It gives us a bit of a true representation of their real behavior. Everybody puts on this facade when we're out in public. We have these different masks that we wear. Even if you say that, no, I don't wear a mask, everybody is wearing a mask. It just gives you a bit of a view behind that mask to let you know what that person is like. And if that person does treat these other people badly, who every single person in the world deserves to be treated with respect and to be treated with kindness, if you see them treating other people badly, then I would say that is definitely a huge red flag and something that you really want to think about. Do you want to continue a friendship or relationship with this person? So observe how they treat people who are seen as a means to an end. They don't add to their bigger goal, their bigger vision. Now, the next thing that we need to be really aware of is that charming phase. People who are narcissists or really know how to manipulate people, they can come across as very charming in those initial moments. They can really win you over. They bombard you with flattery and niceness, and it can seem at first it can seem absolutely amazing. But if it feels, I'm not necessarily going to say too good to be true, because that kind of takes away that whole idea of meeting people and having instant friendships and romance. It takes away the kind of magicalness of that. But what I would say is, if things do feel like they're moving too fast, if somebody is trying to put a label on the relationship that you have really quickly, I would say just start to be aware. This could be a bit of a warning sign that this person could potentially be a bit manipulative. They could lean towards the narcissism side of things. So another thing that often comes up is the need for excessive attention on them. Narcissistic people, they're very self-centered. They do want the focus of attention drawn towards them. So if during conversations, during interactions, you notice that this person, wherever the conversation goes, they manage to draw it back towards themselves, then again, this is another thing for you to just keep note of, keep track of it, and start to notice if it happens all the time, because further down the track, it could lead to much worse behavior. And it's really good to be able to identify early on. And it's quite an easy one to spot early on. This is an interesting one, because those people that are really charming will often be very interested in you initially when they're bombarding you with flattery, but just watch for that. So my point number 2 being about being charming, just watch if from charm it then goes to, well, look at me, and the constant changing of conversation back towards them, so that they're feeling their need of fulfilling them and making them the center of attention. The fourth thing that I think that we need to be aware of is the lack of accountability. Narcissists, people that are going to be pretty hard to get on with and a red flag kind of people, they will not take accountability for their own actions. You'll find them blaming everybody for everything else, and it will show up pretty early on. They will never be at fault. There's always a reason why it couldn't have been anything to do with them. They'll blame other people, or they'll blame the situation, or they'll blame the environment. It's a really good one to look out for. And what you'll see is also sentences along the lines of, oh look, if other people were only as smart as me, or things like, nobody understands how hard it is for me. It is that lack of accountability that you want to keep an eye out for. And again, this is another little red flag for you to just keep an eye out for and keep track of. The fifth and the final tip that I'm going to give you in this video is emotional manipulation. Really hard to say. Emotional manipulation. This is a very serious one to look out for. It can be very subtle. You might not even realize that it's happening, but it's very, very manipulative. Can often be as a bit of a backhand comment, like guilt tripping, or getting them to constantly give them validation, making you feel like you need to fulfill their needs. It could also be seen as the little backhand comments like, do you know what, you'd be amazing if you just lost a little bit of weight. That is a narcissistic comment that you need to be really aware of. In a professional setting, it could be somebody in the workplace that's just said, oh, do you know what, you'd be absolutely amazing at this job if you just sort of worked a little bit harder. They're little backhand, they seem like throwaway comments, but they are massively powerful, and this is emotional manipulation. You need to be really aware of when you are seeing this, and when you do see it, you either deal with it head on and call it out, or ideally you remove yourself completely from that person. This is a really big red flag for you to watch out. That emotional manipulation, it will get worse over time, and without you realizing it, all of a sudden you don't understand what is going on. So those are the 5 things. Just very quickly to recap, we had the observe how they treat service people. So those people that they see as just a means to an end, that will give you a bit of an insight underneath the hood as to what their real personality is like. The next thing that we had was that charming phase. They're being overly flattering towards you, making you feel really good. They give you a rush of good feelings, but ultimately this is being used as a tool to lure you in. Third thing was the need for excessive attention, if they're constantly drawing the attention back towards themselves. The fourth thing, that's 4. The fourth thing was a lack of accountability. They won't take responsibility for anything else. And then the fifth and the final thing, that was all around emotional manipulation and them giving little backhand comments that make you feel bad. So in conclusion, how do we keep ourselves safe from crazy people, from narcissists? Look, awareness is the key. Just knowing some of the things, some of the flags, the warning signs that you need to look out for, that is the key to keeping yourself safe. These are some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with my girls. Outside of this, I've already started teaching them skills around profiling other people and around being able to observe the environment in which they're in. And even at 9 and 12 years old, they're doing a better job than some of the people which I stand in front of at conference and train. I think that it's a really important skill that we all need to have, whether, as I've said at the beginning of this video, whether that's for dating, whether that's for the workplace, whether that's for friends and family. We need to be really aware of the people that are around us and what potential impact they could be having on us. So if you found this video useful, then I would love it if you would like this video. This was a slightly different video than I would normally put out there. I do see this as a bit of a public service announcement. It's designed to help you and for you to be able to share it with other people in your life that you feel might need it. Maybe you know somebody who is currently in a relationship with somebody who might be a bit of a nutbag or a bit of a narcissist, and you want to help them realize that. Maybe this video could be that first little step towards them starting to become aware and start to realize the situation that they're actually in. But thanks for tuning in. If you stayed right now until the end, thank you ever so much, and I'll see you in the next video.